I'd like to take a few minutes to update you on DSC's work last week in Washington, D.C. Last week, a delegation of DSC leadership spent the week on Capitol Hill working from the day-to-day work that Ms. Erica Turgeson does to advance governmental affairs work on behalf of all DSC members around the world. We spent time with members of both the House and the Senate side in Interior Appropriations to discuss three very relevant issues to all DSC members. The first being importation language that can threaten the ability to import legally taken game from all over the world. So our time on Capitol Hill, we're making sure to inform members of the House and the Senate to keep this front of mind and to make sure these pieces of ill-advised legislation never see the light of day. We made great strides in this capacity. Secondly, we work with these same members to update them on critical challenges associated with the weaponization of the Endangered Species Act. The ESA should be something that's celebrated as one of the greatest conservation acts out there. Unfortunately now, this has been weaponized to try to penalize and put in place pieces of bad legislation. Thirdly, we spent a significant amount of time trying to address issues with our U.S. government not working collaboratively with other foreign governments around the world. More specifically, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service not working collaboratively and constructively with foreign management authorities. A couple of examples. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service proposing changes in rules and regulations and uplisting associated with elephant and hippo and not consulting first with the management authorities that are the custodians of these resources and their wildlife habitats. Another example of the Fish and Wildlife Service not working collaboratively with management authorities around the world is the most recent CITES Conference of the Parties, in which we had 184 parties around the world determine that the common hippo did not meet criteria for uplisting. Yet we return home and a few months later and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service moves forward with a proposal to uplist the common hippo. As you can see, DSC is fully entrenched in government affairs work on Capitol Hill and throughout Washington, D.C. We are there to support and represent all of our DSC members all over the world with a full-time government affairs director and direct, daily, weekly, and round-the-clock engagement on all affairs government-related. The challenges and threats regarding legislation and litigation have never been more real, and we're there every day fighting for our rights.